Hey guys, it's Christian.
Hey guys, it's Ash, and you're listening to The Group Chat is Haunted.
How are you today?
Hanging in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
me too.
Another day above ground is a good day.
You got that right. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm so excited for today's episode. I'm also really nervous at the same time. If you guys could see me, I literally can't stop smiling.
I'm so excited for this one. Y'all don't understand how excited she is for this.
I'm so excited. Before we start, I just have to say that I have wanted to go to this location for years. For years. It's literally on my bucket list of spooky destinations. I don't know why. I guess because it's a true story, like it really happened. I'm not really sure, but it's always been, like, ever since I heard the case, I'm like, I'm going there.
You know what's so funny? I did wonder that. I was laying awake the other night trying to think why this place in particular that you're like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go there.
I don't know.
Because I never would have thought about it.
I really don't know. I think the house, probably the time period one, because, you know, 1800s. I love the 1800s. But
here we are again, ladies.
Yeah, and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think about it too, but it just, something about it calls to me. I guess Massachusetts calls to me. That's where this is located, is in Massachusetts.
Isn't that where the witch trials happened?
Yes, in Salem. Yeah. So I want to go to Salem.
That'd be so cool.
Daniel and I were supposed to go for our baby moon, but then it just never lined up correctly, so we didn't go. But that was our goal, was to go there for our baby moon.
That would be
Anyways, saying that, one day we are going to go.
Yes.
And when we do, whether we stay the night or just do the ghost tour during the day or at night, whatever we end up doing,
and then
we'll do like a brief episode of what we experience, because I really hope that we experience something when we do go.
You should have Daniel on the pod.
Oh, that would be funny. It'd be quiet the entire time. He wouldn't say anything.
He might chime in. He'll make himself laugh a little bit here and there.
Yeah, you'll just hear every once in a while.
Like Beavis and Butthead.
He really does have a cute laugh. Anyways.
He does.
Okay, well, enough about my husband. You should know the name. If you don't, then you've more than likely heard the rhyme. And it goes, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. And when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. So first of all, that is not accurate whatsoever.
I was just about to say, is that even actually accurate?
No, it's not. And she actually hated the rhyme because people would mock her. She'd walk down the streets and people would mock her with that. And kids outside skipping rope and stuff saying this rhyme. And she absolutely hated it.
So this wasn't done before all this went down. This was done before, like, it all went down.
No. The rhyme came after everybody found out.
Oh, so she was, like, taunted with this for, like, the rest of her life.
Yes.
Oh.
She also, everybody calls her Lizzie, but she preferred to go by Lizbeth instead of Lizzie. So instead of, like, Elizabeth, she just likes Lizbeth.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was a really cool fun fact, I guess. We're going to start at the very beginning. We are going all the way back, once again, to the late 1800s.
Woo-hoo.
Fall River, Massachusetts. And the Borden family was not poor, but they weren't flashy rich. Like, they were rich, but they didn't show it.
They weren't, like, rich.
No.
Like the Kardashians rich.
They were rich. Maybe not Kardashian rich, but they were rich. But Andrew Borden, Elizabeth's father, being a successful businessman, he owned many rental properties. He invested his money. He had money. He let people borrow money from him. He was very, very good in the business field.
I got it.
Today's times, his money would add up to about $10 million.
Oh, my.
So they were rich.
Yeah, they were rich.
But he was notoriously cheap. Like, to the point cheap. Yeah, like bad. So other wealthy families of that time, they were moving into the nicer parts of town. They had indoor plumbing. They had large homes. But Andrew kept his family on the modest side of town on 2nd Street with no indoor bathroom, no modern luxuries, and they were said to live on a mutton diet.
No bathroom?
Yes. So I didn't know what mutton was, so I had to look it up.
Isn't that like slop almost? It's like
it's mature sheep is what it is. Because that's what I thought too. I was thinking like, what's that? Is it a movie where he's like, can I have more? And they're like, more? Like I'm literally picturing like a little bowl of slop that's at the, what are they called? I'm sorry, that's literally what like popped in my head. Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
The guy with the little beret that walks up.
I think so. Yeah,
just a little bit more, sir.
Yeah, and he's like, "Mo." I don't know why, but that's literally what I thought about. No, it's mature sheep, which apparently is very, very cheap to buy, to eat.
Really?
Because people don't want it. I guess because it's tough, like unless you cook it correctly, like it's really tough.
Okay.
If you guys hear anything in the background, it's my dog. I'm so sorry. So
we love Mr. B.
Elizabeth and her older sister Emma were Andrew's daughters from his first marriage. Emma was born in 1851, which made her about 41 years old at the time of the murders.
Okay.
Lizbeth was born in 1860, so she was about 32 at the time of the murders.
Okay.
Their mother was Sarah Anthony Morris Borden, and she died when Emma, I know it's a mouthful, she died when Emma was 12, and Lizbeth was about 2.5 years old.
Oh, so they were young.
So, yeah. So, Emma obviously had a memory of her mom. Lizbeth did not. If she did, it was probably very, very vague.
Yeah.
Her dad, Andrew, remarried a woman named Abby Durfee Gray in 1865. And this is where things start to get complicated.
Doopy Doopy made its way back into the episode, too.
Doopy Doopy. Oh, my gosh. So Abby wasn't just stepmother. The girls reported that they never called her mother, which of the time was very strange. Usually, even if it was a stepmother, they would call them stepmother, or they called them mother back in the day. They strictly called her Miss Borden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's many reasons to why they did not do that, and we're going to get into them right now because it's a lot. So hold on to your butts, people, or your seatbelts, wherever you're sitting.
Just don't exit stage left, please.
Yeah. Financial disparities in inheritance was the first one. Lizzie and her sister Emma, they were outraged because their father gifted a home to Abby's sister, while his own daughters had received nothing.
Rude.
They had feared that Abby's family, they were trying to steal their father's wealth, and their own inheritance was at risk. So that's the first one.
Okay.
The other one is perceived deceitfulness. So witnesses at the time reported that Lizzie viewed Abby as deceitful, claiming that she acted one way to her face around everyone else, and then another way behind everyone's back.
Okay.
Yeah. She and Emma both felt that they got Abby into their life. She married their dad for money.
She's a gold digger.
The other one is household estrangement. So the relationship was so strained. I cannot speak today. I'm so excited, like I'm like reading ahead of what I am. So the relationship was strained that the sisters rarely ate meals with their parents and often stayed confined to their rooms to avoid them altogether.
Wow.
Yeah. Lizzie famously stopped. I guess when she was little, she called her mother. But as she got older, because she was 2 and she was 5. She was 5 when they got married, I do believe.
She was young.
She didn't know. Yeah. So when she got older is when she started calling her Miss Borden, or simply just calling her Abby.
Miss Borden. I'd be very upset if someone just called me. I'd be like, Miss Klein.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you don't like me enough to call me by, a different name other than Miss Klein?
If I had to guess, I don't think that Abby really gave a shit.
No. Just based off the slight knowledge of what I know, she really didn't care.
Yeah. So though Abby had been their stepmother since Lizzie was 5, I was right, the bond was never warm, and some historians believe that Emma, the older daughter, was a lot more protective and may have influenced Lizzie's negative thoughts on Abby. So that's another thing, too. It's like, okay, Emma's older. She's 12. So she was probably 16 whenever they got married. So she's in that bratty teenage stage of, I knew who my mother was. You're not my mother. Yeah. I'm not calling you mother. And I'm sure some of that rubbed off on Lizzie. So it makes me wonder if Emma wasn't in the picture. Maybe Lizzie and Abby would have had a better relationship.
Maybe.
I don't know. Who knows? Who the heck knows? But the deep-seated hatred is why many believe that Abby was the primary target and was killed nearly 90 minutes before Andrew, and the extreme violence of the attack, which was 19 blows, which they are assuming means that it was an intense personal passion.
Ooh.
But that's just an alleged, opinion of people, police, etc. So with the long-standing resentment, the hatred kept going on because Andrew was not any better.
Oh, no.
So Lisbeth absolutely loved animals of all kinds. She really, really liked birds. She had a ton of dogs and stuff like that, as she got older. Aww. And she actually had in her will to donate $30,000 to the Animal Rescue League of Fall River when she passed.
Oh.
Yeah, so she absolutely loves animals. Loved animals.
I love that for her.
Yeah, and they say about a week before the murders that Andrew Borden had killed her pigeons in the barn that she had been raising, and he thought that the neighbors' boys were sneaking in the barn to hurt them. He thought that the bright idea was to just kill them off. Oh. I'm sorry. There's ill intent with that.
He's saying that the neighbors' kids were trying to hurt them, but he just killed them.
So he just killed them. That makes no sense. I was completely baffled whenever I read about that.
That's like some Spectrum type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth, of course, was furious. I 100% would have been too. And they say that the girls, once again, I've already said this, they didn't eat dinner with them. They stayed in their rooms as far away as possible. Oh. We have financial tension, inheritance disputes, resentment towards the stepmother, an emotionally distant father, and the whole house where nobody really gets along.
So it's just sheer chaos at all times.
Mm-hmm. And just tension. Could you imagine living in a house where you could give two shits about your parents, or just being stuck there? And not even as a teenager. As a teenager, most teenagers, I can't wait to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But they're 40, what did I say? 40-something and 32? 41 and 32 years old, and they're still stuck in this house.
I mean, I can say I get it, because after I got divorced and I moved back home with the, everything, it's kind of I was glad that I got along with my parents. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Because I would have been petrified if I was in that situation, not getting along with anybody.
And then not having anywhere to go. You're literally stuck.
You're literally stuck. Mm-hmm. I can totally get that.
I couldn't imagine. Well, I can't imagine, but that's not a story.
We're not going to go there.
This is where we are going to get into exactly what happened on August 4th of 1892. And there's a lot of information, so pay attention closely. A lot of times and everything like that.
Got it.
So the morning starts off normal.
Okay.
And that's what makes it a little unsettling, is because it's just a normal morning, and then the end of the day turned into complete disaster.
Okay.
Bridget Sullivan wakes up around 6 a.m. to begin her chores. She's about 26 years old and an Irish immigrant working as the family maid. Around 7 a.m., breakfast is eaten by Andrew, Abby, and Lisbeth, and she is reportedly present but very, very quiet.
Okay.
Emma is not there. She was out of town visiting friends in Fairhaven, Massachusetts.
Okay.
The day before, the family had been sick, and they believed that it may have been from spoiled mutton, but they were thinking maybe it was a poisoning for the family.
Oh.
So around 8:30 to 8:45 in the morning, Andrew leaves the house to do his morning errands, work, etc. Around 9 a.m., Abby tells Bridget, stepmom, tells Bridget, maid, that she was going upstairs to make the guest bedroom.
Okay, so the maid's going upstairs to make
Abby
the bed.
tells Bridget that she's going upstairs to make the bed in the guest bedroom. So the stepmom tells the maid that she's going to make the bed upstairs.
Oh, I'm following.
Maid, the maid is outside washing windows doing her chores. So she's just letting her know, hey, I'm going upstairs, I'll be up there.
I gotcha. Okay.
And this is the last time that she's seen alive, is when she tells Bridget, hey, I'm going upstairs to make the bed.
This is why you don't make your bed.
Just leave it messy.
Just leave it messy.
Sometime between 9 and 9:30, Abby is attacked upstairs. She is struck 19 times with a hatchet-like weapon. The first blows were likely to incapacitate her immediately. She collapsed near the bed, and no one finds her body right away. There were no screams reported, which is what suggests a very quick, targeted, and intentional attack.
I was just about to say, nobody heard this.
No. At first, when I was listening, watching about this case, I'm like, okay, maybe if it's a bigger-ish house, you might not hear anything. This house is a lot smaller than you think. And they, as in the people that own the house and do tours and stuff now, they say that Abby was a little over 200 pounds. They have dropped something about that equivalent weight on the floor in that room, and you can hear it throughout the entire house.
Right. Yeah.
But yet everyone in the house that day claims that they have not heard anything. They didn't hear a scream. They didn't hear a boom. They didn't hear anything.
Nothing.
It was planned. So between 9:30 and 10:30, this is where things get really, really strange. Bridget continues her chores and eventually comes inside feeling sick from the heat and goes upstairs to lie down in her room. And Lisbeth, her whereabouts during this time are very unclear and very inconsistent. She later gives multiple versions that she was either in the kitchen, she was ironing, she was outside, she was in the barn, and that inconsistency becomes a huge issue later for police.
Clearly.
Yeah. So how can you be in 4 different places at one time?
Unless you're a fucking wizard.
Yeah. Or a ghost.
Oh, yeah. Are any of us really human, or are we all ghosts?
Around 10:30 in the morning, Andrew returns home, but immediately something is off because the front door is locked and he can't get in. So Bridget comes downstairs to let him in. Because remember, she went upstairs to lie down because she wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
Bridget lets him in, and she later reports that she heard Lisbeth upstairs laughing during this time of letting him inside, which is important because Lisbeth later claims that she was outside.
I was going to say, didn't she just claim she was outside at some point?
Yeah. Lisbeth is coming down the stairs and says, "Where's your mother?" And she replies, "She is out. She got a note to visit a sick friend." But that note was never found by anybody.
Okay.
So with that being said, Andrew goes to lie down on the couch in the sitting room for a nap.
Oh, yeah.
Bridget goes back upstairs to rest, allegedly. Lisbeth allegedly claims that she goes out to the barn to eat some pears and look for some fishing sinkers. Investigators doubted this story because it was over 90 degrees outside. The barn would have been completely unbearably hot. Yeah. I don't know how big this barn is, but either way, 90 degrees outside and then the sun beating down inside the barn, it's probably hot. And the dust inside the barn was completely undisturbed.
First of all, why are we eating pears?
I know, so random, right?
Like, who?
She's eating pears and finding some fishing weights, hooks, sinkers, whatever you want to call them.
What was her plans to go
fishing?
Catch some salmon later and cook for dinner?
I don't know.
Lord.
Around 11 a.m., Andrew is attacked, and he is struck, people say, 10 to 11 times. Okay. So not 41.
Not 41.
No.
Yeah.
And it's mostly to the face. His injuries were described in court as making him completely unrecognizable. And there were no defensive wounds, which suggests that he never saw it coming.
You had to be quicker than that?
Yeah, you got to be quicker than that. Oh my goodness.
What?
Around 11:10, Lisbeth calls out, "Maggie, come quick. Father's dead. Somebody came in and killed him." Bridget comes downstairs and finds Andrew's body, and Lisbeth sends her to go get help. Bridget runs next door to Miss Churchill's house, and she's the first person to arrive. Why she goes next door to the neighbor instead of going and fetching the police, I have no idea.
I'm assuming at this point in time they didn't have even phones, like even the little cranky ones, you know what I mean, that you put it to your ear.
I didn't look that up. I'm not really sure when the phone... I probably should know at the age of 30 when a telephone was created, but I truly have no idea.
I know it's been a while. It's been a good... I mean, they don't have iPhone 14s, but... I mean...
or 18s or 20s or whatever it's out nowadays.
Because now we're getting to the point where what was the neighbor going to do?
Exactly. That was my thoughts. Like, why would you go and grab your neighbor? Anyways, I don't know. That whole thing is suspicious to me. It makes me wonder if Lisbeth and the maid, Bridget, were in on this stuff and they were just trying to find time to... We'll get to that in a second. Okay. So she's the first person to arrive on scene before the police. She comes inside, sees Andrew, and immediately understands that something is very wrong.
Clearly.
Obviously.
No shit, Sherlock.
But what stands out to her the most and to everyone else is Lisbeth. She's not hysterical. She's not panicking. She is very calm and composed and answering questions. After Miss Churchill sees the situation and the police get there and they arrive, they immediately begin assessing the scene. And they see Andrew on the couch, and they notice that there's no sign of forced entry, no struggle, nothing is disturbed whatsoever, which obviously raises a question.
Yeah.
If someone came in, how? They ask her, where were you? And she tells them, in the barn, looking for sinkers, eating pears. They question that because the heat, the dust, like I said previously.
Yeah.
They ask about Abby, where Abby is. And Lisbeth tells them that she received that note and that she left. They ask, where's the note? Who sent the note? What friend is it? And she couldn't give any clear answers to any of those questions.
Clearly not, because she doesn't know.
Yeah. Her story starts to shift between her being in the kitchen, the ironing outside, and the barn at this point. Every time that they asked her, her story was all over the place, something different, like everything's all over the place. At one point, she says that she heard a groan, and no one else heard anything, but multiple officers were like, okay, you're being too calm, you're acting weird, what is going on?
Sus.
Lisbeth is the one that suggests that someone should go upstairs to check for Abby. Even though she said that Abby got a letter that a friend was sick and that she left the house. Mitch Churchill and Bridget go upstairs. They enter the guest room, and that is where they find Abby lying face down beside the bed. Her body is cold, much colder than Andrew's, which confirms that she had died earlier than him. When the police arrived at the Borden house, they, like I said, did not walk into chaos. They walked into something very strangely controlled. And that is one of the first things that they noticed, was that the no sign of struggle, controlled, everyone was calm, cool, and collected, even though if you have seen pictures, these people were brutally murdered with a hatchet-like object.
Yeah. Well, the one that showed the guy on the couch, like, it was just mangled face meat. It was just drooling face meat. Like, what?
There was blood, but not as much as they would have expected from that level of violence, which suggested that the blows were quick and concentrated. And there were, like I said, no defensive wounds as well.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I figure this was a planned ordeal. I'm assuming it's a planned ordeal.
She, like I said, was struck 19 times, mostly in the back of the head, which tells them that it was out of nowhere. She was not expecting it. This person came up from behind.
Whack.
Whack. The police checked every door, every window. Everything was locked and undisturbed. No broken locks, no signs of prying, no footprints outside, no evidence of someone entering or leaving. And that was when the case started narrowing down, because if no one forced their way in, whoever did this was on the inside.
Was already in the house.
Mm-hmm. In the basement, the police found a hatchet head, which is what they suspect is the murder weapon.
Okay.
But it was just the metal part. No handle, and immediately that raised suspicion. Because it could have been the weapon, but the problem is back then they couldn't prove it.
Oh, because the handle's missing.
Yeah, and there's no definite blood evidence on it linking any murders, and they didn't have that kind of
technology back then.
Yeah, that science, the technology, any of that. They had something that looked right, but they couldn't tie it to the crime.
You cannot confirm nor can you deny.
Yeah, and they kept to themselves questioning whether it was cleaned, was it planted, was it the weapon. They didn't know. And a few days after the murders, the police learned that Lisbeth had burned a dress. When asked about that dress, she said that it had paint on it, but the timing of that was very suspicious. Because why burn a dress right after something like this happens? Like, come on.
Come on, how dumb do you have to sound?
But it's the 1800s, so police could not prove any of it. But it stayed in the back of their minds, and this is where it gets even more important, that police did not find any bloody clothing, no clear murder weapon, no signs of struggle, no evidence of an intruder, and that Abby supposedly received that note that was never found. The missing note stood out the most. Well, besides not really having a lot of blood anywhere.
I'm still just trying to figure out why we're eating pears and getting fishing supplies. I'm really thinking about the whole thing from start to finish, like with all the details that we've got so far. My first initial thought would have been, okay, this girl's too clear-minded. Mm-hmm.
For her father to be brutally murdered, and she just saw it.
Yeah, like, I know that, you don't have the best relationship, but I know you wouldn't be that chill about it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I 3 weeks ago, it's like, okay, I had the same reaction where I'm like, okay, we don't have the greatest relationship, but I'm not going to, like...
You're still upset about it. I know.
What?
She should have, if she did do this, she should have at least had some kind of emotion. When investigators were putting everything together, this is what they saw. They saw 2 murders happening at different times inside a locked house with no forced entry, no sign of an outsider, and only 2 people were present, which is why very quickly they focused and turned inward.
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm already thinking, if I didn't know what I know, I would think that the maid did it. Mm-hmm. But the only reason I would think the maid did it is because of what I've already suspected. And I saw somebody say something about the suspicion between
Lisbeth
and the maid.
Yeah.
That was apparently a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute.
I know. So a week after the murders on August 11th, Lisbeth was arrested. And after an inquest and mounting suspicion, authorities believed that she had motive, opportunity, and inconsistencies in her statement. Right. They believed that provided evidence for an arrest and for her to be the number 1 suspect.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
We are going to stop there and make this a part 2. And on part 2, we will get into the actual case itself, the court case, what the verdict was, and all of the hauntings that happen in the house now.
No.
So stay tuned, guys. We are so excited. Like I said, I don't know what it is about this house, but I absolutely love it.
Because it's the whole scenario here. Like, just what, now that I know all these little extra little tidbits, I'm like...
It's so interesting.
But I just don't understand how someone can... Maybe, I guess, because they don't think quite the way we do in this day and age. Because now that the 1800s have gone and passed, if we had this happen today, this would have already been done.
Oh, like, for sure. They would have had fingerprints on the hatchet, head. They would have had all that. They had to have. I don't know.
I don't get it. Wow. Oh, I'm so excited.
So you don't miss. I know. So you don't miss the next episode. Make sure to follow us on all streaming platforms and follow us on social media at
The Group Chat is Haunted.
And if you have any spooky, unexplainable stories, please email us. We would love to read them at
groupchatishaunted@gmail.com.
Exactly. So stay curious.
Stay spooky.
And remember, the group chat is always listening.